Mancini, and some real dignitaries in the crowd as well. There is Ronaldo, the former Inter striker, set next to the president and owner, Mr. Torreira. 49 goals in 68 appearances for Inter, Ronaldo. And there is Jose Mourinho, who arrived in Milan earlier today. He's been answering lots of questions, says he isn't going to be joining Inter this summer, as some of the papers have been reporting. He said that it was a magical time in Milan for him. 4th of October, we hope that that continues tonight. Since a 4-3 thriller back in December of 1996. Felipe Melo, who's returning from his latest.
He did rather well.
Yeah, he did okay, didn't he?
But he'd overrun the ball, and he used his opponent kind of to make contact and go down, and I think it was good refereeing.
Out down the line by Icardi. And for Biabiany. I just wonder, maybe things would have been slightly different for him at San Siro for them. Defeats to Lazio and Sassuolo. Draw with Carpi, fouled by Ivan. This is Biabiany. Looking to get involved down this right flank. I think a run at Dodo. Stuck to his task really well.
Yeah, Dodo did well to kind of stick with the good skill set, good feet.
Felipe Melo. Biabiany in a little bit of space, he's found him as well. Felipe Melo runs beyond him. Biabiany's crosses deflected and behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, I think he was, instead he's gone for the cross, and it maybe wasn't the best option, but at least he gets something out of it.
Corner. Silvino and Mancini already deep in conversation down on the bench. I'd imagine they've probably not. Felipe Melo with a bit of space here. Miranda continues his run into the area. Over the corner, but in it comes now, towards that near post. It's going to fall for Biabiany. Really sat up nicely.
Yeah, and when you're kind of waiting to hit one of those outside the plate on what you're doing, you're aware of what's coming towards you. And Biabiany
did on the volley. Now maybe there's a counter-attack on, looking to use the pace of Biabiany. Chased by Dodo. He's got the pace to get away from it. Great run this by Biabiany. He's got a dare waiting in the middle. And it had to be diverted behind by Cassani.
That's really good running from Biabiany. At ball when you're at such a pace, I think he did extremely well. And considering that, he's pretty much run from his own box beside him now.
Home support doing their best to encourage their side. Oh, and it's a chance at the back post, and it's been taken. It's D'Ambrosio. His first goal since October of 2014. Took his chance brilliantly. And Inter, you could argue, against the run of play, lead at San Siro.
Is against the run of play. So often you see it when there's a flick on near post, and then you get the runners behind them. And Sampdoria just switch off to that. There's two on the far post. Could have been Miranda, or it could have been D'Ambrosio. And
it was a good one, and Quagliarella was there, and Dodo's kept it going. And Silvestre to strike it. Really important block was by Felipe Icardi. Support arriving from Biabiany. The game's stretched, it's entertaining, it's a great watch so far. Eder in the middle, it's towards Perisic at the back post. Good claim by... Well, we hope to have your company for the BT Sport European Football Show tomorrow night. All the goals, stories and talking points from across the continent this week. Hosted by James Richardson. And had Roma. Biabiany. This is Fernando for Sampdoria.
Yeah, I just wonder now whether we'll see Sorry with Fernando, which doesn't really suit.
It's a good turn. Got away from Nagatomo. Across comes Felipe Melo. Away from him as well. Eventually it's Miranda who takes it off it.
Could have crossed Dodo.
Biabiany. Gets away from Soriano. Eder calling for it in the middle. Width as ever provided here by Biabiany.
I know he's got suspensions and he's denied possibility of setting the team up differently, but he's gone with 4-4-2. I just think, looking at Inter at times, they could do with a playmaker.
In that dispute with Inter over his contract. Biabiany. Really does seem to want to stretch his legs tonight, doesn't it?
In problem areas, and he leaves himself too much to do, and I think that's probably a case in point. And he's just kind of committed himself without any real hope of getting near the ball, Dodo, and he deserves a yellow card for that.
Felipe Melo, down for Icardi. Biabiany, certainly since getting the goal, Inter have been in control.
Whatever happens between now and then.
The referee, on first sight, seemed to be looking straight at the situation. He got himself
by Murillo, and they've just completely lost the runners round the back.
It's G when Leonardo was the sporting director there, says he chose Galatasaray in the end instead. Here's Biabiany, Icardi.
But they finished 7th last season, Adam, so there's been a huge kind of fall in levels. A lot of players haven't been able, if they were producing last season.
Corner, Inter at the other end of the pitch. Brozovic sent it in towards Felipe Melo.
It's fine. He's jumped up quickly on that. He's just kind of a little Felipe Melo, and he is climbing. I mean, there's all sorts of kind of tugging going on, the usual. And Silvestre just felt him on his back, and that was it. He was down as he tried to get. Absolutely.
Biabiany, who was found by Nagatomo. Had a clear by Silvestre and Felipe Melo. It's off Ivan in 22 league games. Here's Alvarez looking for Ivan. Had to time that perfectly, Felipe Melo.
Yeah, and listen, I wouldn't put it past Icardi to register again tonight. That's what got involved in the game for long spells, and then all of a sudden they pounce.
Given as a corner. 11 minutes into the second half. A deep one from Brozovic, and Miranda has been kept out. Icardi drives it in. It's been given. Inter can celebrate. I think most of the crowd have only just realised they doubled their lead.
I'll never be certain it happened so fast, but certainly Miranda knew pretty much that was well clear of the line. And from another set piece, Sampdoria have succumbed. And this is exactly what Mancini would have wanted, to just get that cushion earlier in the second half, and they've achieved that now, Inter. And it's
his last for Atletico back in September of 2014.
It's a big bonus for Mancini and Inter from there. And he's kind of playing on the edge. He's taking that risk all the while, and the ball just came to him a little too late, just a fraction too late. Felipe Melo got the first touch on it, and
Brozovic, but there has been a much better intensity about Inter in this.
They get more and more frustrated. Montella.
There is real room for improvement in Sampdoria's away form. That's probably understating it. They've not won away from the Luigi Ferraris in Serie A since.
Going too early, Quagliarella.
Pulled back here for Biabiany. Inter looking a threat. Keeps it going here.
More than a little.
Felipe Melo. Tripped by Ricky Alvarez. I suppose we should remember really that.
Well, I mean, the classic we had was the Mark Clattenburg giving the decision against Raheem Sterling.
Here comes Icardi. He's got away from Ranocchia. He's in here. It's Mauro Icardi, the captain. It's in. It's 3 for Inter. The skipper leading by example. His 11th league goal of the campaign. It comes against his former club, Sampdoria. The man who he says is the best number 9 in history. He's the Inter number 9, and he's made it 3.
Oh, it's a great take from Icardi, and he's had to be very patient in this game because he's not had it when he was given his opportunity, and it's a mistake by Muriel initially, and once Brozovic feeds him, it's not good judgment from Ranocchia. He lets him get away, and Silvestre can't really make the ground up, and I think it's wonderfully placed. It's at its widest point because it's the inside of the upright, and it's really well taken because he knows he's under a lot of pressure, Icardi, and it's kind of one of those nights where I know they're a bit dispirited now, but Sam just forward and leave themselves a little vulnerable at the back, and it happened.
Clearance by Nagatomo.
A little sloppy by Felipe Melo, but got away with it.
Biabiany. Silvestre just got a toe on that. Huge games.
Huge games.
Biabiany. And he's 19-year-old Hassan Nukuri. He's not featured since he was taken off at half-time in the opening game. Trip by Felipe Melo.
Yeah, I think the most was made of that.
At San Siro. As it stands, barring it really is a woeful record on their travels. Felipe Melo seen the run of Icardi. He's found Icardi, great first touch, but the offside.
I didn't think kind of setting a team up to be solid defensively was his thing, and at times we saw him address that. Certainly when they went to...
Just what Inter needed.